real estate agent? Are you looking to acquire clients consistently so you can grow your business and your income to live a great lifestyle? This is Dave Finale and the RE Skill Builder Podcast.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, well, you know what? Times change and things change and guests change automatically. It's like things happen, right? So some of you may be waiting to see Scott Pierce of Listings to Leads. I got a message from Scott's wife about an hour and a half ago that Scott was not feeling well. He was up all night. So I want Scott to feel better and to get well, and we'll reschedule and have Scott back on. Man, I am so lucky and so honored to have Naeem Boucher, who is just a dynamite individual, full of energy, a great real estate professional in northern New Jersey. Naeem and I work a little bit together. We mastermind a lot together, and it's just a pleasure to have you on, Naeem. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, bro. Thank you for having me, man. Looking forward to it. Last minute, but we're here.
What's that?
I said last minute, but we're here. We're going to do it. Let's do it.
That's right. And I was able to change some things and make it look just like for you and everything. But Naeem, here's a question I ask everybody to start the show. You ready? Here we go. What does TGIF stand for?
What does TGIF stand for? Thank God it's Friday.
You're really close. I want to tell you that 99 times out of 100, you'd be correct. But for today in this broadcast, it's thank God it's finale. Here we are, and we got the great broadcast here. We got a lot of fun. This is episode 139, folks. We have not missed a week in 137 weeks. We've done 139 broadcasts in that time. And to the credit of the broadcast and Naeem, we're keeping it going, baby. And we've done it individually, just me, but I always love to have someone to talk to, because then I'll be talking to myself. And what fun is that? Anyway, Naeem, you've been in real estate 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. Tell me about where you came from. And you've been a juggernaut from the start and been really moving hard into different things, investment and, looking at some bios and even, cars you drove and all that fun stuff. We can get into, I want you to get into that too. And where you were and how you got to where you are today.
Well, I wasn't a juggernaut in the beginning. I always believed in myself. But it was tough, man. It was very hard. The first 3 years in the business, I actually did no business.
Wow.
I was a realtor with Keller Williams. I was doing it part-time. I was coaching soccer. I was making like $30,000 a year coaching soccer. I was living in an attic in Patterson. I was driving a hoopty. I was saving my pennies because I read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And that's when I first fell in love with real estate, because I learned the difference between asset and liability. I learned that wealthy people put their money into assets, and then poor people spend their money on liabilities. So before I even got into real estate, after I graduated college and I got me a little job making $30,000 a year, I started wasting my money on bullshit. And then I found myself in a situation where I was living paycheck to paycheck. And then I was like, something had to change. Then once I found out about real estate, I quit everything. I sold everything. I went to go live in the attic. I was driving a hoopty. And then I started saving money to buy my first property. I ended up losing a majority of that money that I saved while being so close, because I went to go to this is a crazy story. I went to AC to go put $1,000 on black, and then it hit, and then I kept on gambling, and then I lost all my money, and then I asked my friend for $20, and then I turned that $20 to $16,000. So then I put that money on top of all the money that I saved. So then I went back to my mortgage guy. I was like, all right, I'm ready to buy my first house. He goes, guess what? You can't buy this house because the money has to be seasoned. So then I'm like, oh shit. So then, I couldn't do anything. Then I went back to AC and then lost all the money. Long story short, I said to myself, damn, I was working from 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. I was coaching soccer in the evenings. I was substitute teaching during the day. And I was working at a sneaker store on the weekends just to save up this money that I just lost from my first house. I said, I cannot do this again. I went to go sub, and I literally walked out that same day, and I registered and got my real estate license. So then I was doing the real estate for those 3 years, while coaching soccer, doing like maybe on average 3 deals a year, Right, I wasn't doing anything. I was going to the office in Hoboken with my soccer gear, trying to figure it out. You know, I was the only black kid in the office. Well, really, I mean, I knew say cool, you know, so I was very uncomfortable. I went to this office, everyone's all dappered and nice, you know, everyone looks like they're made out of money, and I was very intimidated, you know, so I was like, but I stuck through it. And there was times I wanted to quit, you know, there was times I wanted to quit. There's this lady, her name is Tara. You know, I give her 100% credit because she always told me, hey, look, don't quit. And then I always had the hunger, man. I always had the hunger. I always had the drive, and I was just trying to figure it out. I was on the soccer field texting clients. I bought an Apple Watch just to talk to clients. And then my mortgage guy, I was sending him clients during the winter, and he was telling me, like, I met this guy by chance. I ended up buying the house, and then my mortgage guy, he was refinancing my house, and he told me, like, hey, Naeem, you just gotta learn the business. Like, you don't know the business. You just gotta learn the business. Like, you're sending me people, right? You're not making any money. Because at that time, I'm thinking about making money just to buy another house to make $1,000 a month.
Right.
$1,000 a month. And then he goes, Naeem, if you just learn the business and learn how to make more money, you can be having $30,000 a month, $50,000 a month, 60, 70. Like, the sky's endless. And then if I can just learn the business, then the money that I make, then that money I can use to buy more real estate. Right? Instead of working myself like a slave, coaching soccer and doing this and doing that. So I said, you know what? I quit soccer. I gave up my guaranteed income, right? That $30,000 a year that I saved, and I was able to buy my first 2 homes. I bought 2 properties, a 2-family and then another 2-family, all with my soccer income. So to be able to give up that guaranteed income. Right, I'm great on defense. I call it defense. I'll live in the attic. I'll eat peanut butter and jelly. I'll drive a fucking hoopty, right? And I'll save all my money just to invest into real estate. Right? I'm great on defense. My mortgage guy told me I got to get better on offense, right? Offense, being better at my craft, being better at my skill, and take advantage of the business. So I quit. And then I had the fear, right? Before, it was the fear that was in front of me that I said, oh, I'm afraid to try because I might fail. There's no guaranteed commission. But once I put that fear behind me and I quit, and my only option was to succeed. So
let me ask you something. You put the fear behind you.
Yeah.
How did you quit the soccer job because you thought it was the only way for you to actually to go forward rather than go back?
Yes.
Like burning the boats, so to speak.
Yeah. Burn the boats. Burn the boats. I was not coming back. I've been with you guys for 3 years, and that's literally what I said. I said I'm burning the boats. I'm not coming back. I'm not coaching. I'm not. And it was that fear, right? Because now I put it down in the ear. Everyone's like, oh, Naeem. And I was a great coach. Everyone's like, oh, my God, Naeem's leaving. No, like Naeem's leaving. So now I can't go back.
Right.
My only option was to succeed. And, you know, I ended up joining the team after being on my own. And then by joining the team, I was able to, like, see that real estate is actually a business, right? You have to be able to have systems in place. You have to leverage. I have something already in me that I think is very different. Like I can attract a massive attention to myself. I went out and did seminars. I read a bunch of books, learning how to market, learning how to just. I don't even know how to explain it. But whatever I got is something I feel like you can't be taught. And I'm just gonna go out and just do my thing. And then when I do my thing and I'm able to create, organize, and structure and systems in place, then my business took off. I sold 10 million my first year going full-time in real estate after quitting. 10 million. Once I learned the system,
So look, one of the things I want to do always with this broadcast is to bring value to other agents. So you just said when you learned the system.
Yeah.
That's to a lot of people, Naeem, that's a secret that they can't find out.
Yeah.
What's the system that you're talking about?
So you just have to have structure, right? You have to have structure. Like for me, it was all a matter of, all right, number one is you have to meet new people, right? People have to know you. People don't know you, they're not going to do business with you. And I already had people I was doing business with, but it was just very unorganized. So I was like texting people, right? Like my phone just went off. I'm texting, okay, I got to go schedule a showing. I'm just operating off my phone. Who's next? I'll scroll down.
Right.
So I got a CRM. No one taught me about a CRM, and I'm pissed as hell because I was at that company for 3 years, right? Like no one, no, like, it's like, man, this business is crazy. This business is crazy. But once I learned, all right, CRM, get more organized, I did that, and then I hired an assistant. Now it's very painful because I wasn't making that much money. I was like, oh man, okay, well let me figure out how to hire an assistant and maybe pay per transaction. All right, I figured out that, so I hired an assistant, and I told my assistant, like, look, you have one job. Pack my fucking schedule. All right. Like, pack my fucking schedule because I have clients that want to see properties. You're just going to pack my goddamn schedule and I'm going to go out and I'm going to sell. All right. And then that's what they did. She packed my schedule. I didn't know what I was doing the next day. She literally was just packing my schedule, to take like whatever my clients wanted. I set them up my system. They were getting those emails of properties that they wanted, and my assistant was packing my fucking schedule, and I was going out and selling. And then once I got a property under contract, all right, then I hired another assistant that I was paying per transaction. And her job was literally just to do the paperwork, all right, from start to finish, from start to close, all the paperwork. I don't want to do paperwork. And then that was my system. I would do my thing, create a funnel, draw massive attention to me. I set them up in my system, find out what they want, send it to them. My assistant would pack my fucking schedule. I go out and sell, and then once I get it under contract, my TC would do all the paperwork and it would close. And then it was rinse and repeat, and then I just did that like a mad fucking man, and I sold 10 million that year.
So you make this system sound simple, but I guess it might even be that simple. Like you remind me of Kyle Whistle out in California, who, when he first got into business, the first thing he decided to do was to hire an assistant.
Yeah,
because he knew that there was stuff that he would never want to do, and wanted to get somebody to help him do it. Yep. Right. So that's exactly what he did. So you did 10 million that year, and so your assistant was packing your schedule. Yep. Packing your schedule with buyers, sellers, just people. What?
Mainly buyers. The majority of my business was buyers.
Okay.
Mainly buyers. Some sellers, like now we're starting to do sellers. But the majority it was buyers. Like, you know, whatever my buyers want to go see, I would go out. And then, like, yeah, it sounds simple, but it was hard, right? Like, some deals were about to die, then I gotta, like, and it's also about being relentless, right? Like I consider myself so fucking relentless, like it's ridiculous. Like, whatever problem may come up, I'm going to find a solution, right? I'm not a quitter. Whatever problem comes up, I am going to find a solution, all right? And it's just that mentality, you know, like just never quitting, never giving up on any deal, on any client. I make sure deal close. I am a closer, or I'm going to find out what you want. All right, I'm going to be very ethical, and I'm going to make sure whatever problems you may have, I'm going to make sure that there's a solution for that problem. And then deals close. And also, like, my ability to negotiate. All right, like that is an art. That is also an art. I'm very confident in my ability. When I was dealing with these listing agents, I would tell them, like, look, accept my offer, or I would talk my little talk, because I'm going to say, look, I'm going to get the job done. I'm going to get the job done. Like,
right.
And this was, I probably had no experience. And I was going out into the field and letting them know, like, I am going to get the job done. You want to know why? Because I had no option. My only option was to get the job done. So I was operating, right, with a certain certainty, because I knew I had no option but to get the job done. And it was the truth. So agents now wanted to work with me. And then once they started working with me, then I started giving results. And then now my results started speaking for themselves. And then it just grew into an avalanche, now. Yes. And that's why I told you, right? My first year I did 10 million. Last year I did 15 million. Which was, because my first year going full-time was 2019. And I went full-time in the summer, just to put that in perspective for you. And then 2020, we sold 15 million. And then I started a team. But the majority of that business was me. And now this year, I'm not sure if you can remember, right? I told you how much what my buy and my goal was. And then you commented, you saying, oh, how are you going to do that? And I'm telling you, my growth is not normal. My growth is different. I consider myself different. And I said, I got no limits. I got no limits. So I'm telling right now, I'm going for 100 million to buy. 100 million to buy.
All right, let's talk about difference, because different for me, that's like one of my favorite words. And one of the things I preach I talk and I coach about is the art of differentiation.
Yeah.
So you're different from start to now, right? Where, you went out and you just closed. I mean, it was almost like you didn't say this, but you didn't really have, your skills weren't as honed as you may have wanted them to be, but you just went out and said, I'm going to get this shit done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you said you're a closer, right? And you're just going to take this, figure out what you had to do. So people think closer. Well, I don't know how to do that, but I want to just give you another word. Also, as a closer, you were also a fixer. Where you made sure the deals got done, where you fixed problems. So a lot of times people think closer, well, I suck at closing deals. I suck at closing the buyer. Sometimes when you fix a problem, Naeem, correct me if I'm wrong, but you also can close the deal at the same time. And that's basically what we're talking about, right?
100%. I call myself a firefighter instead of a realtor, right? The fires come and I got to put the damn fire out. That's right.
So I was reading something when I was getting ready, because we were rushed to get ready today. And a lot of things in here. And I want to go through this one bio I read, if that's okay with you, right?
Do it.
There are no excuses for being bad at your job. Where'd you get that one from?
There's no excuse for being bad at your job. I don't know, man. I read a lot, man. That was probably from Jim Rohn. That was
right.
I listened to so many different mentors, but all that stuff just sticks with me. Like there's no excuse. 100%.
Right. So I have a question for you, and I'm sorry if I'm ignorant. What is a hoopty?
A hoopty is, I got a picture of it, and I was driving around in an Acura 2004. Had probably damn near 200 miles on it. The bumper was being held down with the wire. The back bumper flew off on the highway a couple of times on me. When I was driving on the highway, the front hood came up. It's an embarrassing car. Holes in the seats. My ex-girlfriend's dad used to make fun of it and call it a hoopty. My ex-girlfriend used to make fun of it. An embarrassing car, right? But to me, the car was paid off, and it was getting me from point A to point B. And I didn't give a hell what anyone thought, because I knew what I wanted to do with my life. I knew I had a plan. I knew I had a strategy, and I saved up all my goddamn money. And now I'm driving a $163,000 car. I also sold my ex a house. Her dad was at the closing, and they can't say shit now, But I mean, it's just respectfully. It's all motivational purposes only. I just remember it, man. I remember being embarrassed. I remember the feeling like this is where I come from. I didn't have the money to get a BMW or something nice. Right. I come from nothing, and all I knew was what I knew. And the reason why I was in the situation, because I didn't have the information. Right. The reason why I was in my situation is because I didn't have the information. So when I was in high school, getting taught by teachers, when I was in college, getting taught by professors, right, the information they were giving me, it didn't do much for me. Right? I took a class on geology. I know what obsidian rock is, right? But they didn't taught me how to create wealth. They didn't teach me how to create financial freedom. They didn't teach me what a mortgage was. I had to learn all this in my books. All these books right here is the reason why I am the man I am today. And I keep reading. I feed my mind with information every day. Podcasts, I drive, and the hunger comes from a place within. I'm angry all the time, but that anger is what fuels me, right? The anger of knowing where I come from. It's an emotional thing. It's really trauma. If I'm being honest to you,
Right.
I don't know. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a story.
So we got a couple of questions so far. So let's answer some of these questions and we can keep going. All right. If that's okay with you.
Let's do it.
So we're talking about your assistant, and Floody Jules asks, did you have them handle the marketing as well?
Yes. My Instagram. Yeah. So, they were, I do a lot of marketing on myself on Instagram, but I got like a social media page as well. Like when I get an offer accepted. Oh, here's the gem. Here's the gem right here. When I get an offer accepted, I get a marketing piece and make it look nice. Offer accepted, and I shout that out to the rooftops. All right. When I have a closing, get a nice little marketing thing done. I shout that out to the roof. So I always showcase the results, the success, so people see, oh, this guy's in the business and he's doing something. So yeah, they did that as well.
So all right, so they do that. So when we talk about social media, which since you just brought that up, is it important to do other things as well that you think has that been advantageous for you, or you didn't feel that you really needed to do it all?
What do you mean do other stuff?
Well, just regular posting about daily stuff that you see a lot of agents posting and stuff. I mean, was it important for you, or was it just the way you did it that worked well?
For me, honestly, my situation is very unique and very different. Right? And I know I say it all the time, but it's the truth. Like for me, what I sold was me and my story. That's all I sold. If you scroll down my Instagram, you can go all the way at the bottom and you're going to see the hoopty. You're going to see the attic. You're going to see all the stuff. And all I'm speaking about is real estate. And then gradually, real estate literally started to change my life. Literally. And so what's that happening? The people that are viewing, they're looking out and seeing how. Naeem, how are you changing your life through real estate? Well, guess what? I would then tell them I own property. Right, my first property did this, The numbers are here. I'm cash flowing this. If you want to start to change your life and not rely on a 9-to-5 job, you're gonna have to buy some property. So, and I help people do that. I help people do what I did for myself.
So we got Matt comes up and says, if you didn't use social media, what did you use to market?
If you didn't have social media, what would you do?
Right, because you said you didn't really use it. You didn't post a lot. You just put out the things that you were doing.
No, I used it a lot. I use social media a lot. Social media played a major part. Major part.
Okay, cool. Here's another question from Floody again. Did you have to train the assistant, or did they already have real estate admin experience?
I had to train them, and it was very painful, right? Very painful because like I'm a guy, I want to go at 100 miles per hour, and then my assistant, she's making errors, she's making mistakes. I want to fire her countless times. Like if I put her on this, she'll tell you I want to fire her countless times, but I didn't quit on her. And, I trained her, I molded her, I groomed her. And now she's a rock star. She's a very valuable piece in my business, and I'm happy I didn't quit on her, and now she won't quit on me, so.
So you had, let me ask you a question though. Did you have to learn it as you were teaching her at the same time?
Yeah. We were learning together. Yeah.
Yeah. See, a lot of people don't understand that, sometimes when you decide to do something and you go forward and do it and you say, oh shit, how do you do that? Oh, how am you're supposed to be the one that knows, and then you don't and say, okay, how do I either fake this and do it or show them how to do it, So that's really interesting. So another one here is, was your assistant already in real estate?
Nope.
So she knew nothing about real estate. All she knew was what you were telling her.
All she knew was what I was telling her. And she was in.
Was there a key to the person you hired? I mean, was there something that did you know her, or was it someone?
She was detail oriented. Due to Tony Robbins' disc assessment, she's a CS, high CS. She's what I am not. I am a high D. All right, I am dominant. I'm a doer. I'm just gonna go. I am not organized. So she was organized. All right, so she was everything that I wasn't, and together. We had everything.
Together you had everything. Okay, so now you've reached a certain point, and it's 2021. Talk to me about 2020 and the challenges that you had to face during that year.
I'll tell you right now, I was cocky. I was confident, right? Because after the end of 2019, I was like, I'm literally going to blow up. All right, so with that confidence, that's the reason why I ended up getting my dream car in February. All right, so I got my dream car in February, and then I also bought another house. I emptied like my bank account from my house, like in, I think that was November or December or whatever. All the money that I made from making that year, I bought investment property, and then I got my dream car like a couple months after that. And then in March, right, I get my dream car, empty out my bank account, get my dream car in February, and then March, COVID happens, the world shuts down. So then for that week, I kid you not, I was going to fire my assistant. I was going to downgrade. I was laying in my bed. like a little punk. I'm feeling sorry for myself. I'm like, what am I going to do? Right? I said, you got my dream car. What if my tenants don't pay me? What if my tenants don't pay me? What if no one want to buy a house? And then I said to myself, you know what? If I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down fucking swinging. All right? I got a text message right now that I can share with my mortgage guy. All right? Because I sent them a client, and it's like 8 o'clock at night, and he's going food shopping, right? Trying to go food shopping. Everyone's going crazy at the grocery store, right? Everyone's going crazy. And I'm like, yo, bro, I need you to pre-approve this client. He was like, Naeem, it's 8 o'clock at night. I'm trying to get some food. Da da da. Right? It's a global pandemic. I'm like, bro, you're worrying about everyone's like, you're worrying about toilet paper and food. I'm sending you a $400,000 client. I said, everyone's screwing up the economy, panicking and doing this and doing that. And I'm trying to do some business. I said, you know what? At the end of this whole thing, somebody's going to be poorer and someone's going to be richer. I know what side I'm on. All right. That was in March. And then the next month, I had my best month ever.
April of 2020.
April, I had my best month ever. And then the momentum just continued. And then the rates were low, right? Then it ended up being a perfect storm because not everyone from New York wanted to come over to this, come into, what do you call it? It's New Jersey. And I was just cleaning house, you know, and then.
So why do you think you had that great month in April? Why do you think that happened?
I didn't quit. You know, I didn't quit. When people were fearful, I was still working.
Right. So how do you take what you learned in 2020 to keep going and all the things you did? And how do you take that moving forward? Are there changes you're making? Are there additions you're making to your business or to your processes? What are you going to do to reach that 100 million, which is your goal?
Well, I can tell you for one, I brought on 15 agents. All right. So now I have a team, and I have a team of 15 agents now, and I have maybe a line of like 10 more people that want to join me. And I'm probably going to have 100 agents at the end of the year. But if we're just going off these 15 agents, right? And I teach these 15 agents to do what I do, and I train them, I mold them, right? And I'm still producing. I did 15 just by myself last year. So I'm probably going to do 30 million this year, just me, maybe 40. All right. So that means, let's say if I do 30 million this year, and I already got I already got like 10 million in the clip. Majority is me. I already closed maybe a total of like maybe 2 million so far. But now if I get my team to just do the 70 million, I got 15 agents. So let's do the math on that. All right. So 70 million divided by 15. That's 4.5 million. So let's say if I get my agents to do 5 million. My first year I did 10. I am very confident whoever's on my team, if I can teach them to do 5 million. All right. So, and that's with 15. Dave is over. I figured it out. Listen to me. I figured it out. So this year, the goal is 100 million. 100 million.
Okay. So you bring in an agent, but hey, look, I own a brokerage for 21 years. And you know what? I had lots more agents than that. And I only had a couple agents doing that kind of volume.
Very true.
Right?
Very true.
So if you're going to bring in 15 agents, and you brought in 15 agents,
yeah,
how do you get them to achieve to the level you want them to achieve? Because let me preface that question, right? Is that everybody says, oh, I want to have a team and I want to do this and I want to do that. But you know what? There aren't a lot of teams, Naeem, out there that make money.
Yeah.
It's like a brokerage. Everybody says, oh, the teams are mini brokerages. You're right. And they still suck and they're still not making money.
Yeah.
So why are you going to be able to achieve this?
So you want to know something? I thought about this because I didn't even want to do a team. If I'm being 100% honest with you, I didn't want to do a team. It was, people were gravitating to me. That's the God honest truth, right? People were gravitating to me, and I was like pretty much put in the position to just do the team. But I feel as though my culture is just different, right? My philosophy, the motivation, the inspiration, is just different, right? So when you join my world, right? When you join my world of this business, you're gonna know that, for me, it's either we succeed, all right? It's either this succeeds or I go back to the attic, and I'm not going back to the attic. So it's either you're on this train or you're off, right? And I tell my agents this just the time: if you don't want to put in the work, right? If you don't see the opportunity, I was in this business for 3 years and I did no business. My sister, she quit her job. She got her real estate license. She already has 3 deals pending. She had her first closing today actually, and she quit her job in December. And my sister is going to make more money than what she was making at her previous job, being on my team. All right. Whatever agent joins my team, if they're on their own trying to figure it out on their own, I'm guaranteeing you they will not have as much success than them being on my team. They can go join someone else's team. It's different on my team.
What's the difference, Naeem?
The difference is the opportunity, right? A lot of people aren't going to give opportunity. A lot of people aren't going to give chances. And if people don't see that opportunity or willing to put in the work for it, then they can leave. They can leave. That's my honest. Because I was on the other side. I was on the other side.
Okay, so great. The opportunity's there. So what is the process that you bring the agents through? I mean, you bring in new agents or experienced agents, and what process do you bring them through to be able to succeed in your system?
So right now we have a daily huddle. All right, so every morning we're having a daily huddle, motivation, training, development. We're role playing. I set them up on my system. They have access to my assistant. I actually hired another assistant just personally for them. I co-market with my lender, right? So it's training, it's development, it's systems, it's culture, it's the organization, and then there's also bonus leads, right? Leads is the last thing that any agent should be wanting to get from my job. I'm going to be able to like literally teach you and groom you. And if you really take advantage of the resource, the environment, just being in the room. Just being in the room is a different pressure. It's a different feeling being in a room with me. If you're on my team, right? It's different. It's different. It's just different, you know. And it's going to be pressure, right? It's going to be uncomfortable, right? That's my secret. I'm always uncomfortable. And that is the secret. So if I can make you uncomfortable, and if you can press through, you're going to be a diamond. And if you can't make it through, then that means you're going to leave. You're going to go somewhere else. And you did both of us a favor. So if I can make you so uncomfortable, and through that uncomfortable, through that fear, you figure it out, you're going to be a success. I'm telling you, my sister, Bianca Boucher, remember her name. She quit her job. She never had she never got a commission check before. So imagine the kind of fear, and she has my nephew. All right. She has a kid to take care of, single mom. So to quit her job, imagine the fear. All right. Yes, there's risk involved. 100% risk. It got to be calculated risk. So, but imagine the fear that she's operating in right now. She's going on showings.
Absolutely.
She's going on showings. She's calling these listeners. She is working. I'm telling you, she's gonna be a top producer.
Well, this is look, man. You know what? You're a confident individual out of necessity in the beginning, and now it's just out of experience. And you know what? If I was looking to work for somebody and I was looking for someone to work with, I mean, you'd be at the top of the list. You know, so you know, here's how the not procedure, but how it works with agents, right? They do really well. You've taught them a lot, right? And then it's like, you know, maybe they want more. What do they do if they want more from Naeem? What do you do there? Have you thought that through as far as the process and the future? What does the future hold for not only your agents, but for you and your team?
Well, to be honest, and this is why I actually just hired a business coach. I'm thinking about hiring a real estate coach. I try to be fair. You know, I try to be very fair because I was on the team, right? So I'm like, all right, so what's fair? So what I have right now in place with the whole EXP model for agents that are on my team, with whatever you bring, you're going to get 75-25. All right, whatever you bring, and not many people are doing that. I know for a fact. Maybe this will change in the future. I don't know, right? Because I have business expenses. It got to be profitable business. I got to be able to reinvest back into business. This is all brand new for me. But I'm saying, all right, whatever you bring, 75-25. Whatever I give to you or bring to you, it's 50-50. So I think the commission split is very fair for now, at least. I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm not perfect. I had a situation where I brought a friend onto my team and he got greedy. He wanted more. And he was been in the business for like 2 years. You know, good friend of mine, you know, he wanted more because he had, you know, a wife and kids and and he wanted more money. He came to me and said, like, look, off of whatever I send him, he wanted, you know, a higher split and then this and that. And I said to myself, it don't make no sense. You know, it don't make no sense. And then he ended up going his separate way. And that's fine. You know, so I'm figuring it out as I go, man. I figure out because
okay, all right, cool. So you mentioned the EXP model that you're in. How do you think that your business, your team, your structure would work with agents coming from other structures, other models, right? Because I'm a firm believer that, you know, the evolution of our business is extremely important, and I also believe in, you know, this might not be a popular thought, But I believe that a lot, not all, but a lot of the old brokerage models, including the one that I was a franchisee owner of, are broken. I don't think they work anymore. You know, you say you're learning as you go. Talk to me about how your model and where you're at with the company serves you, or how it's going to work for you for the future.
Well, for one, agents on my team, they have a low cap. You know, I'm an icon. I'm going to be an icon agent, so their cap is going to go from 8K to 4K. So they're gonna make, you know, good money being with me, being able to leverage and utilize that. And the splits make sense. The split makes sense. It's decent, and we're able to help each other grow. I'm their upline. I want them to succeed, even if they go off, even if they want to go off on their own. Right? I brought them into the business, and you know, rev share. So.
Right. So you started with a regular bricks and mortar brokerage, right?
Right.
Okay. So how does that compare to the business, the type of business you're doing now? Is it the same? I mean, is it the same thing? Yeah. What's different for you?
It's different. Like for me, when I was like, for one, I'm not driving to go to an office to sit with people who like I think are doing business, you know, and like I'm in like an environment is like weird. Me, I'm in my own zone. I have my home office. I'm able to brand my business. I'm able to create my own culture, create my own room, and you know, it's just different. It's different, man. I love it, man. I love it. When I was at Keller Williams, man, it was like a facade. You know, it was like a facade. You know, people that I thought were doing business, they're doing no business. You know, it's this whole business is a facade. That's what I learned, and that's why I like to stay in my zone. Kind of, I don't really like to like talk too much or like interact too much with like. I just like to do my thing and figure out as I go. You know, because everyone's you know in their own little world. And
yeah, so I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of different people over the past couple of years that I've been involved with the system that you're in. And one of the things that I've heard, and let me know what your thoughts are on this, that you can do the same transaction, the same business anywhere.
Yeah.
What company it is, the transaction is going to be the same. Of course, it depends on the state. That's for sure, right? Different laws, different states, right? But the contract, the offer, the closing, the paperwork, how the process is going to be might be a little different depending on the office company's rules, but it's always the same. Would you agree with that?
100%.
Right. What's the difference? Well, one of the differences that I see in where we're at with the EXP model is collaboration, right?
Correct.
So have you noticed that? Have you seen that, the difference when you were with a different company to now?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
So I know that you're part of several mastermind groups, and we were on one together earlier this week. While I was involved with a large franchise. There's no secret I was a Century 21 franchisee. We could get in touch with people and talk to people and go to conventions and see people, but that was really the only time we were able to communicate with people. Now, granted, you know, over the years, we've had changes in technology, and the pandemic really brought that forth. Truth be told, I was teaching that 6 years ago, but I couldn't get anybody to buy into the virtual world. Now everybody wants it. But don't you think that the masterminding that you're able to do now, the people that you're able to sit at the table with, such as, you know, let's throw out some names: Brett Sikora, Kyle Whistle, Dan Beer, Jake Kinder. These people, the last few are doing over $300 million a year, right? Is that an asset to you that you're able to talk to them anytime you want?
100%. 100%. 100%.
Right? And it also gives you the opportunity to learn quickly rather than having to go through. I mean, we're all going to read books. I mean, I've got probably a little bit larger collection than you do, right? In books, just because I'm a couple of years older than you, just a couple, right? So the point is that we're going to learn there, but application and experience, you can't read in a book.
Correct.
You know, have you had the opportunity to reach out to a lot of these people and get assistance?
Absolutely. Like I spoke with Brett Sikora, I spoke with Dave DeVoe, I spoke with Mark in San Diego. Dan, like I like tune in. Like I see what everyone has going on. I try to like see what can I take, what can I pick, what can I utilize within my own business. And like, a lot of people do things a different way, but 100%, a lot of these people, they're giving information and they're sharing. So that's awesome.
Right. Well, you seem to have a lot of fans out here who have been or people that, I mean, people that have been watching you. And I think that's really cool. What is something that you could tell to an agent or to anyone that really wants to do well in the business? What would you tell them where they would be able to build their business?
First, I'll ask them, like, define well, right? Like, what is well for yourself? I think everyone has their own definition of what that is, right? Like, let's say if I was like, let's say if I didn't have these abnormal goals, right? And I was okay with coaching soccer, and I can figure out a system to coach soccer and do, let's say, 10 transactions a year. All right, I'm going to try and figure out a way to do that, right? And be happy with doing that. Like, first you got to define what is that you're happy with, and then figure out a system of how you're going to get there. Right? Like if it's 25 transactions, then that means that, all right, 25 transactions, you got to do the math. 25 transactions, that's what? That's 2 deals a month. All right, that's 2 deals a month. So what do I have to do to close 2 deals a month? All right, so that means that if I'm going to try and maybe speak to at least 10 people for the week. All right, 10 people for the week, 10 times 4, that's 40 people. Then out of those 40 people, maybe I'll get 3 to 5 offers accepted, right? Like, so it's a numbers game. Like, for every 10 people I speak to, I'll get 1 offer accepted. So that means you got to speak to 20 people and then get, 2 offers accepted, and then you just keep doing that. So it's a numbers game, right? And depending on your time that you have available is how much time you can put towards time and effort put towards doing that goal.
So one of the things I hear from a lot of agents, they're making calls, they're calling for sell by owners, they're calling expires, withdrawals, et cetera. And most of the time they say, well, I'm making hundreds of calls a day and nobody's answering the phone, right? Mm-hmm. You said if you can talk to 10 people a week, you'll be able to do those 2 deals a year. Yeah. Talk to me about that.
Well, the 10 people, it doesn't even have to be only FSBOs, right? Like, I hate cold calling, all right? I literally, like, here's the secret. I committed. All right, I committed. I literally changed my name on Instagram to Mr._real estate. So whenever someone goes into my page, they're going to see my name as Mr. Real Estate. When I go out to eat, when I go out to the bars, when I go out with my friends, I am letting people know I am Mr. Real Estate. I am the best at what I do. I am the best realtor. I literally went out to bars countless times, and I yell. If anyone leaves the house, I'm your guy. When I play soccer on Thursdays with the men's league, after I score a goal, I say, if anyone needs a house, I'm your guy. Like, wherever I go, I let people know that I am in real estate and I am your guy. I shout it to the rooftops. I just moved to North Bergen. I walk into the bar across the street. I let everyone know I'm the guy in real estate. I went somewhere the other way. I went to go get lunch one place, and then the guy was talking to me, the owner. I knew he was the owner. He came to me and he goes and says, hey, I just want to make sure you like the food. I'm like, yeah, the food's amazing. My first time here, I'm going to come back again. Hey, by the way, did you know I'm the best agent in this area? He goes, wait, you're on real estate? I say, yeah. And then he goes and says, oh, well, I own 900 units, right? So sometimes it's a matter of just shouting it to the rooftops and then catching someone's attention who's gonna want your service, right? If you're quiet about it, right? If you're calling people that don't want to talk to you, right? You got to find someone who wants to talk to you. It's simple. It's really simple. And how can you attract these people that want to talk to you?
You just figured out. You just told everybody how to attract people. You just said that.
I know. I mean, I'm giving it away for free right now.
But that's okay, man. That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. People, here's the thing. There are no secrets in this freaking business.
True.
There are none. And people really think there are. Like, you say you're giving it away for free, but you know what? You just found a way that works for Naeem, and it works really well, and no one's willing to do what you're doing. You said you're different. You are different, man. You believe and live the art of differentiation every fucking day. You know what's going on, and you know how to get your name out there and everything else. So I want people to understand that this is a way to prospect. It's not only a way to prospect, but it's also a really important lesson to know that people need to know who you are. You're a public figure now that you're in real estate. And, it's just a great great point you make. This is to let everybody know. Now, not everybody's going to be playing soccer, so they're not going to be able to do that one, but they can go out. I mean, okay, when we're able to go to bars, which hopefully will be soon, and all that other stuff, I'm looking forward to that. Naeem, how can people get in touch with you to join your team, to talk to you about real estate, to use you to buy or sell? How do people get in touch with you?
You can get in touch with me via email, or you can follow me on Instagram at Naeem Boucher. I'm very active on there at Naeem Boucher. Reach out to me. Very, very easy to get in touch with me on Instagram.
Awesome. Great. There's another question. I have two more things. The last question I have for you is, one of the things I do in this broadcast is my objective is always to bring value. And first of all, before I get to the question, thank you so much again for adjusting your schedule on an hour's notice, literally, to join me on this broadcast. And I sincerely appreciate that for doing that. So thank you. So that being said, the question I have for you is, how can I help you grow your business?
You tell me. Feel free to. We can set up a call. I'll literally break down my entire business to you. I'll show you what I'm doing in every aspect. Any holes you see, you've obviously been in the business longer than me. Like, no one taught me how to build a business. So if there's anyone who I feel as though is credible, who knows what they're talking about, who's done it, I am all ears. I am all ears.
Excellent. So, one of the things that excited you when I contacted you earlier today about coming on the broadcast, you had to ask me, do I get a hat? And I said, of course, because this is why everybody comes on a broadcast anyway. I mean, I've had Tom Ferry and Bill Pipes, and they came on for the fucking hat, right? That's why they're here. They came on for the hat. So we're going to get this hat out to you. Thank you so much for coming on. Listen, if anybody wants to talk to Naeem, it's Naeem at NaeemBoucherProperties.com. That's his email address. Also, NaeemBoucherProperties.com is the website. All right. Naeem, hang out for a minute. Thank you so much for coming on. And thank you, everybody. Next week, we have Derek Lipsky coming on, who is an expired scripting genius. We'll see him next week. He's from the Boston area. So thanks so much for coming on. We'll see everybody next week.
Real estate agent, are you looking to acquire clients consistently so you can grow your business and your income to live a great lifestyle? This is Dave Finale and the RE Skill Builder Podcast.